Priority of being over language. When we assert that the language we use is not the end in itself, but rather primarily the means by which we think and speak about realities, in this case God, we acknowledge that the words we use are not as important as the reality we're speaking of. Athanasius had a particularly helpful way of articulating this idea. He said that when we speak of God, terms do not disparage his nature. Rather, that nature draws to itself those terms and changes them. For terms are not prior to essences, but essences are first, and terms second. What he means is that our words, when we speak of God, are radically redefined and reinterpreted in light of who God actually is. After our discussion about the attributes of God, this should come as no surprise. After all, every time we looked at a particular word to describe God, we realized that when we use that word to speak of God, we did not mean the same thing as we do when we use it to speak of human beings or our daily experience. Indeed, we find that in light of who God actually is, our words can take on a rather different meaning. This means that we can use words that have baggage associated with them because we do not intend to use them in exactly the same way as they are used in other situations. For example, the English word God comes from a German word that originally referred to a pagan being, and yet in spite of that linguistic baggage, when Christians say God, they're not meaning it in this way at all. They're using the term as radically reinterpreted by the gospel, particularly in light of Christ. The words we use are not as important as the reality we intend. This does not mean, however, that all terms are equally valid and that we need not use any discernment when selecting our terms. In reality, we need to take our selection of terms very seriously because our goal is to be as clear and unambiguous as possible, even if we realize that our words will be transformed in spite of that careful selection. Some words lend themselves more easily to transformation than others, but all are transformed.